Alright, let's get into it. Imagine the most powerful, agile predator in the animal kingdom. Now give it wings of metal, a heart of fire, and the ability to climb to the edge of space. That, in its rawest form, is a fighter jet. It's a machine built for the ultimate challenge, a tool of survival pushed to its absolute limits. Designed for one primary purpose: control the skies. The apex predators of the air, engineered for intense, high-stakes encounters where speed, agility, and power mean the difference between coming home and not. A testament to human ingenuity, to go faster, fly higher, push every boundary, a complex beast, a marvel of engineering that must withstand incredible forces. Think of it as a survival kit with wings. The airframe uses super strong lightweight materials, titanium carbon composites, to survive stresses that would tear a normal plane apart. Tucked inside is a cockpit, the pilot's survival pod, filled with complex instruments. But the real heart is the engine, or engines, and ignited, creating a controlled explosion that shoves the aircraft forward. The edge in the sky is often pure, unadulterated speed, the ultimate expression of our drive to conquer the wild blue yonder, to face the unknown, to survive. We all think we know what fast is. You feel it when you're on a motorway, the landscape blurring past your car window. A powerful sports car might give you a real thrill, pushing you back in your seat as it accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just a few seconds. Or perhaps you've been on one of those high-speed trains, the kind that glide across the countryside at over 200 miles per hour. From inside, the world becomes a smooth, continuous streak of color. But here's the thing. When you start talking about a fighter jet, you have to completely reset your understanding of speed. The fastest car in the world, pushed to its absolute maximum on a special track, might hit 300 miles per hour. Now take that top speed, that 300 miles per hour figure, and understand that for a modern fighter jet, that's barely even cruising speed. In fact, it's often the speed they need just to get their wheels off the ground. Let's put this into a real-world survival perspective. Imagine you need to get from London to Rome, a distance of about 900 miles. In a fast car, driving non-stop, you're looking at a journey of at least 15 hours, and that's without traffic or stopping for fuel. A commercial airliner, the kind most of us fly on for holidays, would get you there in about 2.5 hours, cruising at around 550 miles per hour. But a fighter jet? A fighter jet could make that same journey in less than an hour. It's the difference between a cheetah and a garden snail. A fighter jet operates in a completely different realm of physics and performance. Its speed is not just for getting from A to B, it's a fundamental tool for survival and dominance. The speed of a fighter jet redefines distance and time, turning a vast battlefield into a place where anything can happen in the blink of an eye. It allows a pilot to intercept a threat hundreds of miles away in minutes, to escape an enemy missile, or to position themselves for an attack before the opponent even knows they are there. Speed is the ultimate tool for dominating the aerial battlefield. The journey to incredible speeds for a fighter jet happens in stages like climbing a massive, invisible mountain. It all starts on the ground, on a long stretch of concrete runway. Even here, the power is immense. The pilot pushes the throttle forward. Engines roar to life. Acceleration is brutal. The jet hurtles down the runway, gaining speed rapidly. Within a few thousand feet, it reaches takeoff speed, typically between 150 and 200 miles per hour. Wings generate enough lift. With a pull on the stick, the jet leaps into the air. Once airborne, the climb begins. Landing gear retracts to reduce drag. In this initial phase, the jet is subsonic, still below the speed of sound. Cruise might settle around 500 to 600 miles per hour, as fast as a commercial airliner. The pilot conserves fuel, preparing for the next phase. Then things get truly wild. The pilot engages the afterburner. An afterburner is a second stage for the engine. It injects raw fuel into hot exhaust. That fuel ignites in a spectacular explosion of flame, a long, bright torch out the back. This is going to full burn. Acceleration is violent and immediate, pinning the pilot into their seat. The jet surges forward like a cannon shot. With afterburners blazing, speed climbs past 700, 800, 900 miles per hour. The airframe groans, the world blurs, pure predator unleashed. The afterburner drinks fuel at an astonishing rate, sometimes emptying tanks in minutes, so it's only used for short bursts when Mach speed is critical. It's used for emergency situations, intercepting a high-speed target, outrunning a missile, gaining a life-or-death advantage in a dogfight. It's the ultimate survival gear. There's a special number in the world of aviation, a kind of invisible wall in the sky, the speed of sound. At sea level, this is roughly 767 miles per hour, or about 1,234 kilometers per hour. As an aircraft approaches this speed, strange things start to happen. The air can no longer get out of the way smoothly. It begins to compress and build up in front of the aircraft, forming powerful shock waves. For early aviators, this was a dangerous and mysterious place known as the sound barrier. They experienced violent shaking and loss of control as they got close. Many thought it was an unbreakable limit. They were wrong. When a fighter jet, with its afterburners roaring, finally pushes through this invisible wall, it is flying supersonic. The moment it crosses that threshold, the shock waves are released and trail behind the aircraft in a cone shape. When this cone of pressurized air passes over the ground, people below hear it as a loud explosive boom, the sonic boom. It sounds like a clap of thunder on a clear day. For the pilot inside the cockpit, however, it's surprisingly quiet. They don't hear the boom because they are traveling faster than the sound itself. They have literally outrun their own noise, leaving it far behind them. Flying faster than sound is described by a special term, Mach number. Mach 1 is exactly the speed of sound. If a jet is flying at Mach 1.5, it's traveling at 1.5 times the speed of sound. Most modern fighter jets are capable of reaching speeds of Mach 2 or even higher. At these speeds, the world operates on a different time scale. A pilot can cross an entire country in the time it takes most people to drink a cup of coffee. This ability to fly supersonic is not just for showing off, it's a critical survival and tactical advantage. It's the ultimate tool for dominating the aerial battlefield. Throughout history, the quest for speed has produced some truly legendary aircraft, machines that push the boundaries of what was thought possible. One of the most famous is the American F-15 Eagle. For decades, this jet was the undisputed king of the skies. It's a big, powerful twin-engine fighter designed for air superiority, and it can reach a blistering top speed of over Mach 2.5. That's more than 2.5 times the speed of sound, or roughly 1,875 miles per hour. To put that in perspective, at that speed you could fly from New York to Los Angeles in just over an hour. Another icon of speed is the Russian MiG-25 Foxbat. This jet was a mystery to the West for many years, a terrifyingly fast interceptor designed to chase down and shoot down high-altitude American spy planes. The MiG-25 was built with one thing in mind: raw, straight-line speed. Its powerful engines could push the aircraft to an incredible Mach 2.8, and it was rumored to be able to go even faster in an emergency, hitting speeds close to Mach 3.2. The trade-off was that its engines would often be destroyed by the immense heat and stress at those speeds, but in a life-or-death situation, that was a risk worth taking. But when we talk about the absolute fastest air-breathing jet ever built, one name stands above all others: the SR-71 Blackbird. This was not a fighter jet, but a strategic reconnaissance aircraft, a spy plane. Its mission was to fly higher and faster than any enemy missile or aircraft could reach. The Blackbird was a true marvel of engineering, capable of sustained flight at speeds above Mach 3.3. At that velocity, the friction with the air would heat the aircraft's skin to hundreds of degrees, causing the metal to glow red in the dark. The Blackbird was so fast that its standard evasive maneuver when a missile was fired at it was simply to accelerate and outrun it. These aircraft are legends for a reason. More recent fighters like the F-22 Raptor might have a slightly lower top speed, around Mach 2.2, and to survive in the most hostile environment on Earth, the sky at 60,000 feet. Flying a fighter jet at twice the speed of sound is honestly nothing like being a passenger on a commercial flight. The human body is definitely the weakest link, and it gets pushed right to its absolute breaking point. At Mach 2, you're covering nearly a kilometer every single second. The world outside the canopy becomes a featureless blur. There's no sensation of speed like in a car, no wind rushing past. Instead, it's this feeling of immense, relentless energy. The pilot is strapped tightly into an ejection seat that's a last resort survival tool. The cockpit is full of screens and controls. Those are their only connection to the machine and the world outside. The physical stresses are enormous. Processing information fast enough is a huge challenge. Events happen so quickly that even a moment's hesitation can be fatal. A rival aircraft can go from tiny dot to on top of you in seconds. Pilots are trained to think and react almost superhumanly fast. They rely on their instruments, their heads-up display, and their highly trained instincts to make split-second decisions. At high altitude, the air is too thin to breathe and the temperature is lethally cold. The cockpit is a pressurized, climate-controlled bubble. The pilot wears a special flight suit and helmet that provide oxygen and protection. Even with the tech, the physical strain is immense. Constant vibration and the roar of the engines, even through the helmet, drain stamina. It's man and machine working as one to survive where we weren't meant to go. While straight-line speed is, sure, incredible, it's really when a fighter jet turns that the pilot faces the most brutal physical challenge: the G-force. G stands for gravity. 1G is the normal force of gravity we feel every day. Tight turns at high speed generate centrifugal force that multiplies that feeling. Pulling a 9G turn is common in modern fighters. The pilot feels 9 times their body weight crushing them into the seat. A 200-pound pilot suddenly feels like 1,800 pounds. It's almost impossible to describe. This force has dramatic, dangerous effects on the body. The primary enemy is blood. G-force pulls blood from the head down into the legs and feet. As blood drains, vision fades, gray out, tunnel vision, blackout, G-lock, loss of consciousness. Pilots must master their physiology to survive. They wear a G-suit. The suit has air bladders around legs and abdomen. During Gs, the suit inflates, squeezing the lower body. That helps push blood back toward the heart and brain. But the suit alone isn't enough. Pilots actively fight Gs with AGSM, tense the legs, tense the stomach, tense the chest. Use a special breathing cycle, a controlled grunt. Pilots train for hours in centrifuges, brutal and painful, but the only way to stay conscious and in control. So, why is all this speed so important? In the world of air combat, speed is life. It's not just about getting somewhere quickly, it's about controlling the engagement from start to finish. A faster jet can choose when to fight. A faster jet can choose where to fight. It can intercept an enemy bomber before it reaches its target. It can arrive at a battle scene faster than its opponent, giving it the element of surprise. The pilot with the speed advantage is the one holding all the cards. They are the predator, not the prey. Speed is also a form of energy. In a dogfight, pilots talk about energy management. A jet that is flying higher has more potential energy. A jet that is flying faster has more kinetic energy. This energy can be traded for altitude or for tight, high-G maneuvers. A pilot with an energy advantage can outclimb, outturn, and outmaneuver their opponent. If a pilot finds themselves in a bad position, they can use their speed to disengage. They can run away and reset the fight on their own terms. A slower aircraft doesn't have this option. Once it's engaged, it's committed. Speed provides options, and in a survival situation, options are everything. Furthermore, speed is a crucial element in both offense and defense when it comes to modern weapons. A jet flying at Mach 2 that fires a missile gives that missile a massive head start. On the defensive side, speed is one of the best defenses against an incoming missile. The simple tactic of turning and running away, known as kinematic defeat, can sometimes be enough to make the missile run out of fuel before it can reach the jet. Ultimately, the relentless pursuit of speed in fighter jet design comes down to a fundamental principle of survival: creating a margin of safety for the pilot. In the unforgiving environment of aerial combat, where decisions are made in fractions of a second and the consequences are absolute, speed is not a luxury. It is a fundamental requirement. It's the difference between controlling the sky and being a victim of it, the difference between mission success and mission failure, and the difference between life and death.